So one of the things I've been learning with these projects is that it is super empowering when you learn how to build something yourself. You know, to have a vision for the thing, to make a plan for the thing, to go to the store, buy the raw materials, bring it home and build this custom thing. It's just really empowering, and I enjoy that more and more. A couple years ago, I built this sanding station cart, one that's got the belt sander and spindle sander on top. It's got the hand sanders in the drawers with all of the sandpaper and accessories. It even has its own dust collection. The whole thing rolls around and it's just amazing. I've been wanting to have something similar to this for my routers. I've got a couple routers and I also wanted to have a router table. And I kept putting off the project because I wanted to do this thing where I designed it from scratch in my own head, and I just, with this project, for whatever reason, kept getting overwhelmed with it. And then I was at the store and I saw that they had router table stand kits where you could get accessory shelf brackets, and you could get accessory caster wheels, and you could pick the top of the table, and you could pick the lift that goes in there, and you could pick the router, and it just like clicked that for this project, that's what I'm gonna do. That gives me a basic frame to work with. I can just follow directions, assemble it all together, and then after that on the insides I can custom build my drawers and my shelves to hold the accessories and stuff. So I'm kind of excited. I have not done something like this before. I usually either just buy a thing that's already made or I build a thing from scratch. So this project is going to be in the middle where I'm following some directions, but then adding some custom stuff at the end. So let's get started with the assembly. The first thing I did was to lay out all of the parts and just get familiar with the instructions. The instructions and supplies were easy to follow. It was basically a bunch of angle irons with pre-drilled holes and lots of nuts, bolts, and washers. As I assembled all the nuts, bolts, and washers, I left everything a little bit loose to give myself some wiggle room. I then attached the locking caster wheels, and again, this was all pretty straightforward. Once I had everything assembled together, I went back and just tightened everything, which ended up becoming irrelevant because I forgot to check that it was square, and so once I got it on the floor and realized it wasn't square, I had to loosen everything and check for square and retighten it all again anyway. Router tabletops can be made of a variety of materials. They can be made of like a laminate MDF, there's plastic compounds, and then there's cast iron. I decided to splurge and get the cast iron top. It was definitely the heaviest and most expensive, but it's also the most durable and will stay flat, which you could imagine would be really important for keeping things flat on the table. It did come with a considerable amount of oil, so before working with it too much, I spent a few minutes just using lots of paper towels and wiping off the excess oil. And then in the future, I'm obviously going to have to maintain a level of oil to keep any rust from forming. Bolting on the top also was not difficult. It was just a little bit awkward getting underneath it. With the top secure, I added little adjustment screws that I'll use later to make sure that the router plate is flush with the router table.
Without knowing what I was doing, I decided to install the dust collection box next. This assembly was a little tricky because the sides weren't the same, but their differences weren't always obvious. So as long as I stuck to the instructions and got the sides and the orientation correct, it went really smoothly. Speaking of sticking to instructions, I figured out that I could stick the instructions to the frame with the magnetic dish that I was using to hold the bolts. This made reading the directions with full hands a lot easier. And again, it was slightly awkward attaching the box to the underside of the table, but it was super convenient to use the wheels to roll the table around for accessing the other side. The lift kit was probably the feature I was the most excited about having in a router table. I don't use routers very often, but when I do, getting them set to the right precise depth is always the most difficult part. With this lift kit in the table, I knew that using a router table moving forward was going to be so much more enjoyable. The kit was easy to attach, but I think it would have been easier to attach the kit before attaching the dust collection box. There just wasn't very much room for my hand inside the box. Here you can see me adjusting those little screws to get the plate flush with the top. The next step was to install the actual router, which definitely required taking the box back off. So now I know, and you know, that it's easier to attach the dust collection box after installing the router. It totally makes sense now. I picked the Bora 3.25 horsepower base router because I wanted enough horsepower to use larger bits. My first project with this router table is going to be an entertainment center that's going to have shaker style drawer fronts, and I knew I'd need the horsepower for those larger bits. Also, this router happened to be on sale the day that I was doing all my shopping. I had a little trouble getting the router into the clamps of the lift kit, but once I got it in, everything reassembled really easily. Whenever I buy tools like this, I always struggle to decide which quality I should get. I fear that if I buy the cheap version of the base level of something, that I'll just go home and instantly regret not getting the better quality. I mean, after all, there's a reason that somebody invented the better version. But then I also fear that if I buy the more expensive version, that I'll just feel like I got taken advantage of because I bought something that I don't even need. One of the things I'm learning is that I very rarely regret buying the quality tools. Almost always, I'm thankful I purchased the better quality. So all this to say that along with the best cast iron top, I also bought the best fence that's got features for precise control. It also has a variety of accessory options, and I don't think I'm going to regret this. Speaking of quality, I even got the special hose clamp that doesn't pinch the spring that's in the hose. Once I got the top done, I was getting really excited. So far, this project was turning out exactly as I was hoping. So then the next step is to build out the storage compartments below. I knew I wanted a large drawer for my older router and a smaller drawer for my cordless router. I also wanted the accessories for each to fit into their respective drawers. And then I wanted to store the tools and accessories for the router table on the sides where they would be easy to grab. So after cutting a bunch of plywood, I added in some shelves, then some accessory storage boxes, 2 sidewalls for future tools, and the 2 drawers. And now just 2 more accessories to add, and then it's done. I added a start-stop button on the front, and then I discovered a better hose that could easily detach and turn into a vacuum for the top of the table.
Okay, here is the router in all its glory. It turned out exactly the way I was hoping it was going to turn out. This thing is amazing. First of all, I have all my router stuff all in one portable cart. Everything is together. In the bottom drawer, I've got the larger router and the accessories for the larger router. And in the upper drawer, I've got the smaller router with all the accessories for the smaller router. On the sides, it's got the accessories for the main router, very easy to get to. I even have some space left over for future accessories. On the back, it's got its own dust collection with the hose for picking up the debris on the top. And I even designed and 3D printed my own dust collection adapter. I think the main thing that I took away from this project is that it's really important to listen to other people. It's important to read the reviews on products. It's important to watch the video about things. It's important to talk to your friends and family about their experiences. It's important to talk to the salespeople or the people at the store. But it's also really important to listen to yourself, to trust yourself, and to use information from your past when making the decisions. So, for example, with each of the different accessories and parts of this table, most of the time I had choices of getting a cheaper quality or a middle quality or a more expensive quality. And most of the time I chose the more expensive quality. But I didn't choose that because the salesperson was suggesting it or some YouTuber that I look up to has the same thing. I picked the more quality products because I trusted myself and I trusted that I would use those things in the future and that quality would be worth it for me. I've already gotten to use some of the precision that the accessories offer, and I've really found value in it and really appreciated it. So I have no regrets. I am super excited about using this table even more. So anyway, thanks for watching.